Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, hi, my name is Monica. I like to post anti-MLM, life, and some true crime content here on this channel. So if any of that interests you, make sure to hit that subscribe button. I would love for you to stick around. In today's video, I am bringing you anti-MLM content. So of course, just as a disclaimer, this video is for entertainment purposes only and just my opinions. Today we're going to be chatting about Tori Belle yet again. The reason why is because I had yet another video sent to me about Tori Belle, along with, if you guys remember the video that I did just a few weeks ago, and it was titled "A Tori Belle Rep Sent Me This," that very same rep sent me even more information. So before we get into the reaction to the video portion of this, I wanted to talk about what she sent me because I don't know if any potential Tori Belle reps know about this. I don't know if this is presented to them before they sign on the dotted line. I'm sure it's in the policies and procedures, but unless you're going to go through all of that with a fine-tooth comb, some people might miss this. And of course, yes, it does fall on that person because, as I've said multiple times, it is our responsibility to do our own research. So if you have come across this video and you are doing your own research, applause to you because not many people do. I did not, so don't feel bad to anybody else who didn't, but I just wanted to go over this real quick. So the person said, so I have some more information about Tori Belle that might be of interest. When I joined and got my commissions, that is when I found out that the commissions go on a Tori Belle card. I'm assuming this is probably going to be kind of like how the unique reps, they always take pictures of their unique card and everything like that. So I'm assuming it's kind of the same concept, if you will. But anyway, so found out the commissions go on a Tori Belle card, which maybe other MLMs do that, and I don't know why they can't just make direct deposits into my account. Well, anyways, as I was looking into transferring the money to my bank account, I scrolled down to the bottom and saw a fees tab and decided to click on it. Guess what? There are so many fees. Fees for holding the money, withdrawing the money, closing the account, ATM withdrawals, cashback fees. The list goes on and on. So I wanted to share this with you because I am not sure others know to be aware of the MLM fees, especially with Tori Belle. Another reason this company is not for me. This rep did send me pictures. Of course, there are some things that are blurred out for privacy reasons. Now let's take a look at the screenshots of the account that this rep sent me. So of course on the screen you're going to see 3 transactions from August, 1 from July, and 1 from June. So it shows there's a transfer to a bank fee, then there's the bank transfer to the person's bank account, there's another monthly service fee for active accounts, another one, active accounts, and then payment received from Tori Belle. But if we take a look at another one, and this is what really got to me. There's a $15 account closure and or balance refund fee, 50-cent fee for an ATM balance inquiry, 50 cents just to find out how much. Okay, $2.50 ATM cash withdrawal fee outside of the US. And then within the US, it's $1.95. ATM decline fee is 50 cents. Bank teller cash withdrawal decline fee, wow, sorry, can't talk, 50 cents. There's a bank transfer stop reversal return notification of change fee, which is $5. Debit purchase transaction fee with or without PIN cashback, 59 cents for both of them. Direct debit fee for US residents only, 50 cents. Fee for bank transfer is $4. What? Foreign transaction fee applies if settlement currency is not US dollars, 3% of transaction amount. And this is, keep in mind, this is for if you're a rep for Tori Belle. This is not your bank. This is not, no, this is what, this is gonna really aggravate me. Monthly service fee for accounts inactive greater than 121 days, that's $5. Monthly service fee for active accounts is $1. Now don't get me wrong, some of the fees are not that bad because it's $1 here, it's 50 cents there, yada yada yada. But that adds up. And as someone who, after they paid off all their credit card debt, is very frugal when it comes to money, no. What? I really truly hope that this is discussed before Tori Belle rep decides to join the company, or that they find it on their own in the policies and procedures, because I was not aware that Tori Belle had that many fees. I know that for when I was in Beachbody, I had direct deposit, and then you had to pay the $15 monthly fee or whatever. Any of my ex-Beachbody coaches, if I'm wrong on that, please let me know in the comment section below, because I was also in Beachbody many years ago. And then, of course, there was the PV, so the personal volume, which was my Shakeology. But this, not only does Tori Belle not believe in direct depositing, apparently, as we're looking at this, but they're going to charge fees. They're going to charge you fees for the money that you earned. And as we know, 99.6% of people in the MLM industry either make little to no money or lose money on top of all these fees. So this is why whenever I talk about income disclosure statements, for example, and I always say that this is before any expenses or fees, which include personal volume or any kind of website fees, because some of these companies, they do have website fees. And I've had people come at me in the comment section recently. It's been on a very, very old video of mine from, I want to say, when I first started creating videos. And people always come at me and they say how, well, social media is free, so where are you getting this whole taxes and fees and all of that? This is a perfect example. Tori Belle has all of these fees, but they won't direct deposit into your account. Along with it, you do have to do taxes. So if you're not doing your taxes, do your taxes. Along with that, yes, social media is free, but if, let's say, you're still having in-home parties, how they used to back in the day, and you're not just doing it on social media, then you're going to be spending a lot of money on gas if you're going to be driving places, or if you're going to buy refreshments. Then there's also the conferences. So some higher ranking people, they might get a discount on the conference ticket itself, or they might get that conference ticket, all expenses, well, not all expenses paid, but that conference ticket or convention, whatever, is paid for by the company. But you still have to pay for your travel. You still have to pay for your hotel. And that's not cheap. So that's something that these reps don't think about. While yes, social media is free, you can go ahead and go on social, well, unless if you're buying ads. If you're buying ads, then no, it's not free. You're purchasing ads. And trust me when I say, when I was in Beachbody, a lot of people were telling me that I should run ads. So there's that. But they don't think about these extra fees. That's just something that I thought was very interesting to bring up, because I have been talking about Tori Belle a lot, and it is the fact that Tori Belle is not spoken about all that often, and it has taken over my old hometown in Jersey. And like I said, I hope that the people who are in Tori Belle, if they do come across this video, I'm not on what you're doing. I don't like the MLM structure. I think that the whole magnetic eyelash thing is a very interesting concept, but this isn't anything new. There's so many other companies out there that are doing it. And the thing is that you can find them for much cheaper. Along with, I had someone, and I pinned this comment on my last Tori Belle video, of a person who commented and said that they got some kind of bruise. So they tested out the product on their hand before they put it on their eyes. Thankfully, they did that, because I can't imagine what would have happened to their eye. But from that product, they had a bruise on their hand. And whether that's an allergic reaction, and it's just a small percentage of people that are getting that allergic reaction, it's still scary. It's still something that, if a rep, what would happen if a rep was told about something like that? What would they do? Seriously, what would they do? Because if a makeup artist had something like that happen, they would have some kind of knowledge as to what's happening. So that's something I wanted to mention. Now that I have rambled, let's get into this reaction video, because this was, I believe, the person who sent it to me, I think, correct me if I'm wrong in the comment section, believe this was their upline or one of the bigger people at the top. So let's get into it.
Okay, so what the heck is the art of the chill? If you saw the first Art of the Chill video, you remember me telling a story about a retailer. I got on their email list and this retailer had no chill. They, instead of pitching me their goods and services, they were like, hey, we saw you didn't open our email, why not? And it's all about making assumptions about why people are acting a certain way or doing a certain thing. And it turns out, most of the time, we're wrong. We're busy and there's reasons under the surface that you and I don't know about, and the same exact thing applies when it comes to recruiting. So what we're seeing...
It's not the same thing, because sometimes people leave you on red because you've contacted them so many times that they can't stand it anymore, and instead of blocking you, because maybe they're really good friends with you and they don't want to block you right away, so they're just going to leave you on red. Or there's also the people who, like myself and many others in the anti-MLM community, have put in their bios on social media that they do not believe in multi-level marketing, they don't want your products, and they're very anti-MLM. So for someone to come into the DMs and say, oh, I was looking at your profile and I think you'd be great for this opportunity. Obviously, you didn't look at my profile. Obviously, you didn't do your research, because if you would have clicked on some of my pictures, or if you would have looked in the bio, the best place to look, my bio says anti-MLM, YouTube. And then so it's not the same. This rep can go ahead and assume whatever they want, but when it comes to this, most people don't want to know about it. And for these reps to be constantly in everyone's DMs, it's annoying. It's seriously annoying. It's starting to get to that point where when I watch these things, my brain just mind blown.
About what we're seeing with recruiting, right? Let me know if this sounds familiar to anybody. Ready? I've asked everybody. No one's interested. No one's interested. Everyone who's going to join has already joined. Everyone's already heard of it. No one's interested. No one wants to do this. I've tried everything. Anyone heard that? I've tried everything. No one wants to do it. All right, so energetically, right? Energetically, you're coming at it with this, I've done everything that I can do. The market's tapped out. And I'm here to tell you that it might feel sometimes like the market is saturated, but when you look at the actual statistics, there's so many people out there that don't even know magnetic lashes exist. They literally don't even know they exist yet. So to suggest that everyone even...
Notice how she's trying to say that market saturation doesn't exist and how people don't know about magnetic lashes. I've known about magnetic eyelashes for a very long time. I've seen them all over social media, whether it be in an ad, whether it be my friends or my family wearing these magnetic eyelashes. This is nothing new. And for her to kind of pretend that market saturation doesn't exist, it does exist, because a lot of times these reps will compare the MLM structure to something of a franchise. While there may be some similarities, it's not the same thing, because a franchise, they do an analysis of the area. They check for market saturation. They check if this business is going to be profitable, if they have the right target market in the area. Because you're not going to, perfect example, back where I lived in New Jersey, there is so many towns in one area where it's very, average living. It's a lot of families that they have the normal 9 to 5. They aren't looking to buy luxury items. They aren't looking to buy a luxury car. So a lot of the stores in the area are not targeted towards people who want to go out and buy a Bugatti, for example. But if you drive just a little bit further out, then you get into this area where it's just, there's a mall, And if you're from Jersey, Short Hills Mall, that's filled with designer stores because of the area. Their target market is people that have $1,000 to spend on a t-shirt. So these franchises, they look to see if they're going to be profitable, because why build a place if it's not going to be profitable? And they look into market saturation. Whereas with these MLM companies, they don't care about market saturation because the MLM reps are the best customers. And if we want to go back to what I just talked about, what this rep sent me just the other night, they have all of these fees that they're tacking on. So they don't care about market saturation because the MLM reps are purchasing these products. They're making money off of these MLM reps, so they don't care. So for this rep to try to say that market saturation doesn't exist is a lie. It does exist. It does.
That everyone even knows about it, let alone has been invited to join the opportunity, you're just wrong. You're just gonna have to take my word for it right now. You're just wrong. Which brings us to the first thing we have to do together. This is an agreement we have to make. And you and I are gonna make it right now during this training. And then when you go out into the world and you're ready to do your recruiting, I want you to make this agreement. Before you do any recruiting, any prospecting, any relationship building that you hope will get someone to join your team, you have to get yourself in the right frame of mind. Let's talk about what that is. It's not just power pose, I can do it. Does everyone know what the power pose is?
How about you learn about the product and you try to sell the product? Because if the focus is on recruitment, doesn't that kind of sound like a pyramid scheme just a little bit? Oh, which brings me to, if you see my earrings, these little pyramid triangle earrings, they are made by MLM Mombi on Instagram. I don't know if she is taking orders, but if you're interested, message her, let her know that you saw the earrings, and she'll know. As long as you say the pyramid earrings, she's gonna know exactly what you're talking about. But this is, why can't the focus be on the products? Why can't these uplines say, before you start recruiting people, try to sell the product? I'm sorry that I'm so riled up in today's video. I don't know why I'm so riled up, but anyway.
It's not just breathing deep and getting yourself pumped up and thinking, I can do it. That's not it. Sure, that's a good idea. You're going to get your blood flowing. You're going to have a good energy about you. But getting in the right frame of mind to recruit is this. Make a list of all the reasons. Right now in the comments, type it. Make a list of all the things that you are grateful for about this business. Right now, everybody type in the comments, what are you grateful for about this business?
I'm going to kind of piggyback off of what she's saying. Write in the comment section what you're grateful for in the anti-MLM community, whether it be meeting new people, because I've actually met some pretty incredible people in this community, whether it's it got you out of your MLM, it opened your eyes to the MLM industry, or it helped in some kind of research. Leave it in the comment section below. Just leave it in the comment section.
This business. And as I'm sitting here watching these comments come in, here's what's happening. I am reminded that I have the prize. I'm the prize. Having me as your mentor, that's the prize. The person I'm approaching, they're about to strike gold. Literally, figuratively, every single way. I'm reminded of all the reasons I joined, and I'm really, really interested.
Are we for real? What in the actual is this? She's the prize. Having her as your upline and your mentor, because a lot of these MLM reps are starting to talk about how they have a mentor. She's the prize. She's the prize of you signing up to become part of this business, or you signing up as a customer first, for example, and then kind of testing out the products and then becoming a rep for the company. She's your prize.
Interested in going in and reading yours, reading the answers that people who aren't like me have. Because I'm talking to a wide variety of people and I know my answers, but I don't know all of yours yet. So really getting yourself in that mentality of, I don't want something from this person. I want something for this person. And I know it sounds cheesy, but stick with me here. Getting yourself in the right frame of mind before you do those reach outs is the difference between coming across as authentic, and people can feel it when you have their best interests at heart, and coming across as pushy. You want something, oh, here comes again, trying to get me to sell lashes with her. People can feel it, right? They can feel it when you approach them.
People can feel it when you're faking a friendship as well. So people can feel it when you're trying to build a relationship with someone and you sit there and you try to blow smoke up their and you try to say that, oh, well, I'm trying to help you. How are you helping them? Unless if you're helping them get into debt, then yes, you are helping them in that sense. But she said how she doesn't know everyone else's reason because she doesn't know everybody. Because she has a giant team, because a lot of these people are never going to get a chance to talk to her because she's so high ranking. And because, for example, when I was in Beachbody, there was a particular upline that a lot of people out here know. Amanda MC and I were in the same downline of that person. And people idolized her. People wanted so badly to get on a phone call with her. And she never knew my name, but I was in her downline. It's the same exact thing because there is no way that these uplines, if they have thousands and thousands of people, some even have tens of thousands of people in their downline, there is absolutely no way that they are going to be able to talk to every single person. But those people are making that upline money. Because the more that they lose money, the more that they buy products, and the more that they recruit their friends and family into the triangle-like structure, the more money she's gonna make. So
approach them, it's different. Okay, so let's talk about this really quickly. You should have a list. Just like Unit 1, just like the last Art of the Chill, when we were talking about selling and having a list, one of the most powerful things you can do is have a list. Float some hearts right now if you have a list, a written down list of prospects or people who you hope will become your prospects in this business. And if you do not have a list, confess right now, right? I do not have a list, but I am going to make one right now. And the list can't be in your head. Sorry, ladies and gentlemen, it has to be written down. And there are several good reasons why. Okay, who should be on the list? It should be anyone who's expressed interest in this business. It should be anyone who has lashes, that's happy with their lashes, ideally. It should be anyone who you think would be really good at this business. It should be anyone that you want to work with. And get this, y'all, get this. It should be anyone that if I handed you a magic wand and said, I have my lash magic wand, and I could wave that wand and say, boom, that person's gonna come work with me. Who is that? Bet you they're not necessarily on your list yet, but put them on your list and I'll tell you why. The only caveat is in our policies and procedures, if they're an influencer with over, I think it's 20,000 followers, you do need to write in and get permission unless you already have a one-on-one relationship, and always check those policies first. We want everyone to stay in compliance, but put their name on your list and go get permission, okay? Because
to any of my ex-Tori Belle reps out there, can you please explain to me why that is? Because I should have looked it up before I started reacting to this video, but I'm curious as to why they have to have a write-in for anyone who has over 20,000 followers. Because I mean, I can kind of see why, but I really want to know the reasoning behind it with Tori Belle and their policies and procedures. So, like I said, if anyone knows why, please let me know in the comment section.
once you hear the 4 steps, the worst case scenario, I mean worst case scenario, is you're about to pay someone a compliment. No one's going to be mad about how you're going to come at them. I'm about to walk you through a 4-step recipe of approaching someone with prospecting and walk you through a magic question, and no one's going to be mad about it. They're going to walk away with a big smile on their face, even if the answer is no. So get ready. Make those lists. The power of writing down a list is it gets it one step closer to being true. And then there's going to be a day where you are in the spirit. You have the energy. You are like on fire. You're on fire that day. You are ready. You are in the right mind frame. And you're like, who am I talking to? Who was it again? I think it was someone from the gym. I think it was someone I went to high school with. You need a list. My mind is an excellent one, and you might be absolutely brilliant, but we all need lists because we're busy, right? And that's the next piece I want to get into here. Why? The main thesis, if you walk away with one aha feeling, it should be this, right? It should be like, whoa, I was making recruiting way too complicated. And here's the damage that does. It makes you not want to do it. It makes the people you are recruiting think, oh, that's complicated. I don't think I could ever do this. But we're about to drop something so simple for you that anyone can do it. And the beauty of that is not only can you do it, but the people you're talking to are going to think, I could do that. Seems doable, right? That's what we want. We want our prospects to look at us and go, I could do that. Yeah, I could see that, right? That's the goal.
But if they leave the company and if they say that they didn't make any money or that they lost money, that's when you're going to turn around and say, well, you didn't work hard enough.
Cool. Are you ready for it? Let's do it. Let's hop in. Okay, so we are in the right frame of mind and we know who we're talking to. We have our list. Spoiler alert, if you don't ask someone to join you, they're never gonna join you. I'm sorry if this thought hasn't occurred to you yet, but it's gonna take a little bravery. And what I ask you to do is just follow these steps because they work. I didn't just make this up. I've experienced this firsthand and I workshopped this with a number of people, and everyone that's following these steps is seeing their percentage of recruits closing going up. They're saying, I talked to this person 3 months ago. The conversation kind of fizzled out. I went back in and did this, and I'll tell you in a minute what that is. And boom, they're ready to jump on. So let's talk about it. There's 4 steps, and you don't do them 1, wait for a response, 2, wait for a response. I'll tell you how it goes. Step 1 is an expression of enthusiasm, and it goes something like this. Hey, Cindy, thank you so much for your love on my posts. This business is absolutely exploding. It's unlike anything I've ever seen. Our numbers are insane. I just can't even believe how fast this business is growing. That's for someone who's liked your posts. Step 1 for someone who hasn't looks something like this. Oh my gosh, Catherine, I don't even know if you have been seeing my posts lately, but I have something that I really want to share with you. This business that I'm involved in is experiencing growth like nothing I have ever seen before. And then we get to step 2, right? So if they've already expressed some interest.
I'm going to stop it on step 1. That's a script. Every single MLM rep from every single MLM company has used that script. Or they haven't and they switched it up a little bit on their own. But that is a script that people send all the time. So going back to what you said before about how someone was having a conversation with a prospect and how the conversation fizzled out, and then I contacted them a couple months later and they said, yeah, sign me up. Yeah, it's because it's the same hey hun, hey girl message that we get all the time. And probably the reason why that person decided to join the team is because they were probably talked into it, or they were just annoyed and they wanted this person to shut up. So there's that. But let's go on and let's listen to step 2, 3, and 4.
already expressed some interest, if they're on your list because they've expressed some interest, you can segue pretty easily. And if they haven't, if it's colder, right? If it's colder, you don't be afraid to say something like, I don't even know if you've seen my posts, but I've never seen growth like this before in my entire life. This business is exploding. And then we move into step 2. This is in one message. Steps 1 and 2 are in one block, and steps 3 and 4 are in one block. And that's just so we don't fire a wall of words at them, because nobody likes to read a wall of words. Bless our hearts. As much as I love words, no one's gonna read it, all right? So 1, expression of enthusiasm, right? Step 2, this is possibly the most critically important step, is we are going to pay them a compliment. Now, don't you dare cut and paste from the last person you spoke to. This is where you roll up your sleeves and you earn it. You think about why they are on your list. And even if they're the ones who came to you,
don't copy and paste. But step number 1 was a copy and paste type of script. So what is she talking about? Do you talk about the same script? Do you say the same thing off of the script, or do you not? What?
Ones who came to you, you think about why they'd actually be good at it, and you get genuine. Hey, Cindy, thank you so much for your love on my posts. I've never seen anything like this before. This business is insane. I think you would be amazing at this. You are the most authentic person online. Anyone who knows you would never recommend something that you don't absolutely believe in, and you're just never pushy. You're never trying to sell things. So if you stood behind a product, people would go nuts. Or you are so insanely talented at makeup. Like, I love looking at your posts. I love getting new ideas and new inspiration for new looks to try. Or your posts always crack me up. You make me laugh. Like, I look forward to your posts like nobody's business. Or you're so, whatever the compliment is, but dig deep. Step 2 is where you have to actually ask.
Digging deep. So you're just gonna say that their posts on social media make you crack up. That's digging deep. That's digging deep. What is this person's definition of digging deep mean? I would love to know, because she's talking about make it genuine, make it personal, but everything that she is saying is off of a script. Take a shot every single time that I say script in this entire freaking video.
Actually ask yourself, why is this person on my list? Would they be successful? Why would they be successful? And this is where you pay a genuine compliment. So you reach out, expression of enthusiasm, pay a compliment. Step 3, then I usually click send. So there's a nice bite size and nugget for them to read. And then I type this. You guys are gonna fall out of your chairs. Are you ready for this?
Please do not compare nuggets to your MLM Boss Babe script, okay? Don't do it. I haven't had chicken nuggets in a really long time because I'm currently trying to watch my intake. So do not. Everything turns back into food for me. She talks about the whole, it's a nice little nugget of information for them to read. But just before, she said, don't make it a really long thing to read because nobody wants to read that. When someone reads a message that says, hey girl, hey hun, or hey Cindy, hey Sharon, or whatever name you want to put in there. I'm so sorry to any Cindys or Sharons that are watching this that I just offended. I'm so sorry. But to say that to someone and to send this scripted message, there's that word again, but she's just contradicting herself in this entire video, and she's talking to her team. I really want to know if these reps rewatch these videos and if they look and see how many times they contradict themselves, because you'll hear them say all of this stuff about recruiting and how it's so easy to do it, but then 2 seconds later it's hard work. So they can't keep doing this. And this is a very common thing that I keep seeing with all of these reaction videos that I'm doing. It's all the same. All of it is the same because they're all going off of the same script. Another reason why they're probably going off the same script is because people jump from MLM to MLM. Along with that as well, some people who work and are head honchos of an MLM break off and start their own MLM. It's just a vicious cycle.
Ready for this? I'll give you a minute to catch up on your notes. Take a sip of water. This is crazy. And I discovered this by accident, but it works almost every time. Step 3 is gonna sound real familiar too, and it's real simple. What questions do you have? And then step 4, you come in at the same time, in the same block of text or the same voice memo. You say, what questions do you have? Listen, I've got to actually run. And then you say a reason that is both genuine, but also bonus points if it resonates with the person. I've got to run. I'm actually hopping on a Zoom call with the studio owner who wants to carry these lashes. Or I've got to run. I promised my kids I would give them an hour uninterrupted playtime with me today. And obviously kids come first. They're a family-oriented person. Or I've got to run. I've actually got a speaking opportunity. One of the things I love most is I get to, train in this training group we have. So I've got to run. And then you say this. In case you don't have any questions, I'm going to go ahead and drop my link here. Send me a screenshot when you're in. If you have questions, I'll hop back in. But if you don't have any questions, here's my link. I'll hop back in later and we'll get you started.
I find that rude. Does anyone else find that rude? Because you're pitching someone this business opportunity, but then you're going to say, basically what she's saying to do, in other words, is, sorry, I don't have time for you, so because I have to do X, Y, and Z. And she's saying all of these things because FOMO, fear of missing out. They want this person to think, oh, like I got to get on this because it's now or never kind of a thing. And let's just take a look at this situation. The person who's saying, I gotta run, might not even have anything to do. That is deceptive, and that is so misleading. This is such a gross tactic to use. I understand in the world of marketing, I get it, because it's not just for MLM companies. In the marketing industry itself, there are a lot of really problematic things that go on. So I'm not saying that this is just what happens in an MLM. It happens elsewhere too. And I really don't like this because I'm sorry, but if I had someone pitching me this amazing business opportunity and how I would be so good at this business opportunity, and then let's say that I do have questions, they go to say, well, if you have any questions, let me know, but if not, I gotta run. Or I gotta run, you ask me questions and I'll get to it. I'll be in and out. I find that rude. And I think that shows a person that you don't care. Unless if other people, they see it and they think, it's now or never. I gotta sign up for it. So I want to know if this actually works. It sounds like it probably works for her because she's spewing this garbage out into the world and she probably has a massive team. But I really want to know who falls for that, because that makes me sad that people would fall for this. It's rude. It's rude and it's unethical and it's misleading.
And do you know what happens? Sometimes they just sign up and they screenshot you and they say, I'm in. So what you've done here is you've introduced that the business is amazing. You've paid them a genuine, authentic compliment of why they'd be good at it. So you're not just saying, hey girl, it's not a hey girl cut and paste. We all know, float some hearts. If multiple times a day you get the generic hey girls and you're like, they're cutting and pasting this. This has nothing to do with me. This person clearly doesn't know who I am. Sometimes they're trying to sell me lashes. Float some hearts if someone ever tried to sell you lashes and you're like, you didn't look at my page for a second. Pay them a genuine compliment. Ask them if they have any questions and tell them if they don't have any questions, here's my link. And then don't ask him for a question. Would you like to sign up? Don't be soft. Say, go ahead and sign up and send me a screenshot once you're in. So it's telling them what to do. If you have any questions, I'll be happy to hop back in here. But if you don't, go ahead and sign up and send me a screenshot and we'll get you going. I'll hop back in here later. Right? So then...
Yeah, my mind is blown too, but in the completely opposite way of what her mind-blowing foolery was. My mind is blown even more, and it's not in a good way. Definitely not in a good way.
Then a couple of different things could happen. They could sign up. Whoop, whoop. You know what to do then. You get them going, post 1, post 2, post 3. You celebrate the heck out of that. That's a win. And it happens. If they have questions, you obviously answer the questions. Now let's talk about something else. If they're on the fence, the conversation fizzles, you're at this awkward point where you don't know what to say next. Float some hearts if you've ever been at the awkward point where the conversation has kind of fizzled and you don't know what to say next. Or maybe you have an old conversation from like a month or 2 or 3 or 6 ago, and like you tried to recruit somebody and they didn't say yes. And you kind of just, like, somebody left somebody hanging. We don't know what's going on, right? Here's what you do next. No matter how old this lead is, are you ready? You ask them the magic question. You ask them, let me just ask you a question. If you were just gonna go ahead and go for it, what would be your reasons why? And then you say nothing. Here's a secret. You ask this question even if someone's a hard no. Even if someone told you no 2 months ago, go back and be like, listen, totally respect, 100%. I hear you loud and clear. You don't want to sell it. No one can make you sell lashes. However, just humor me for a second. If you were ever going to do it, what would be your reasons why? And then you listen. This is critical. And then you listen. And whatever you use to keep track of your leads, spreadsheet, cell phone notes, notebook, whatever you use, this is important, you write down their exact words. Their exact words. Because those are the words you're going to use right back at them if they're still on the fence. So if they say a little extra spending cash, you don't use the word money. You don't say, hey, I know, this has been such a phenomenal way. Some of my friends have been doing this just to earn a little extra money. No, don't say it. Say a little extra spending cash. You pair it back their exact words. Psychologically, this is a phenomenon of mirroring, and there's science behind this. And what it does is
Now I know how she has a massive downline. It's just like she said, the psychology behind it. She is giving this information to all of these people to mislead everyone, to come up with this false relationship and using everything that the people say to get them to sign up. Just like when my Mary Kay upline used my student loans and my credit card debt as a way to get me to join so that I could have financial freedom and so that I could pay off my student loans and my credit card debt. This woman, I can see why she has such a large team. She will do anything. She will do anything. And this is when I say how I know a lot of people, they sometimes disagree with me, and I do know that there is an indoctrination that goes on. I do know that there are people at the top of the triangle, the top 1%ers, who are good people, who have been indoctrinated into the MLM. I know that there are good people, but I also know that there are people that are legitimately scamming and know how much people are losing, but they don't care because they're making a lot of money. And with this woman, I can't pinpoint which one she is. She could be a little bit of both because she probably wasn't always like this. The MLM probably, I mean, maybe she had some of these morals, if you will, before, and the MLM just enhanced all of these bad characteristics. Or the MLM company really did, in a sense, in my opinion, brainwash her. Because this is not okay. This is taking advantage of people. This is being predatory. I'm at a loss for words with this one. I really am.
It does is it makes them feel heard. It makes them feel like you get it. It makes them feel like you are literally speaking their language, because you are. You ask the magic question, all right? And here's a hard truth. Let's talk about some hard truths. Not everyone you ask is gonna sign up. Truth bomb. Not everyone's gonna say yes, even if you are the world's best recruiter. Not everyone's gonna say yes. Not everyone wants to sell lashes, right? It's true. And not everyone's gonna respond to you. That's a hard truth. A lot of people ask, do you do this in voice clips? Do you do this in text? I personally don't use voice clips. I type it out. I type it out 1 and 2 steps together, 3 and 4, and I type out the magic question if they're on the fence. The only time I leave voice clips is if they've left one for me. Again, that's mirroring. Or if I have no other choice, like I'm in the middle of something or I'm not at my house and I want to keep the conversation going, or I feel like infusing a little bit of energy. Like if I feel like the energy has sunk in the conversation, sometimes I'll raise the energy back up with a voice clip. But I like text. You've got to see what works for you. But I'll tell you what doesn't work is wishing and praying and hoping and dreaming that people will magically join your team. You've got to ask them to. You've got to give them your link. If you don't give them your sign-up link, and let's talk about what link that is for a sec. If you don't give them your sign-up link, they don't, even if they want to say yes, they kind of don't know how. You've left them hanging. So the sign-up link that I give people, I go to my own website, my own shopping website, I click opportunity and I click join now. And I give them the link that has the word application in it so that when they click, they're signing up right away. They're in it. They don't have to click around. They just start typing their information right away. Before it leaves my brain, I have a confession to make. And it's probably a confession you all need to make too. Be honest if you've done this. Sometimes we accidentally ask the opposite of the magic question. So the magic question is magic because the person convinces themselves to do it. By answering the question, they talk themselves into it, y'all. It's true. They do. They list all the reasons why they should join. That's why it's magic, right? And sometimes we accidentally do the opposite. It sounds like this. This is painful. It's going to be painful when you hear it. I sense that something's kind of holding you back. What's holding you back? Or it seems like you have some concerns. What are your concerns? What's holding you back? What are your concerns? Oh, good Lord, do not ask those questions. You're asking them to write an essay on why they shouldn't sign up. You're planting seeds in their brain of why they shouldn't do it, right? Only ask it in the affirmative. If you were going to say yes, what would be your reasons why? And if they veer into the reasons why not, you take them back. Heard. Yep, I hear that. Let's talk about objections. What happens is, let's think about it like a force of energy. An objection coming at you, what they expect you to do is push back, right? I don't think I can do it because I don't have enough money. And they're like, oh, well, yeah, you have enough money if you did it. When people object, they expect that. They expect you to push back. And what happens when forces push against each other? They push even harder. Don't do it. Here's what you do. Objection comes in, you take it, you catch it. I hear you. Yeah, no, it is. It's an investment. I hear you. I hear that. You take it. You take the objection and then you steer it back. If you haven't asked them the magic question, you ask it then. I hear that. Yeah. No, I get it that you're busy. Like it would be interesting to see how you would fit this into your schedule. But let me ask you this question. Like if you were going to do it, if you were going to find a way and you were going to go for it, what would be your reasons why? And then all of a sudden, the person who was just so focused on why they don't have time for this business is answering all the reasons why they need it in their lives.
Honestly, I would love to know how high up in the company she is, because this is why she has a giant team. All of these just marketing tactics of using this psychology behind it, which if she was using this for a good reason, I would applaud her because she's good. But the fact that she's using this in a bad way, and the fact that she's using this to pitch this opportunity that 99.6% of people aren't going to get the success that she has, that's what bothers me, is that she's using it for bad. I don't know how you would really use this for good, but I mean, she's good at this. I will give her that. She is good at this because she keeps talking about how steer them away from the negative things, steer them away from that, keep on going to the positive side of things. But if someone is thinking about a business opportunity, an investment into something, they need to weigh out the pros and the cons. They need to see if there's more pros or there's more cons, or if there is more of one than the other. They kind of have to weigh out how severe are some of the pros and some of the cons, like how big of a deal that they are. But people are going to have these questions. They're going to have these doubts. If someone's sitting there telling you that they don't have time for this, that they have children, or that they just really truly don't have time. Some people really don't have time. There are not enough hours in the day for me to be able to get every single little thing done that I have on my to-do list. And some people are really truly that busy. Yeah, some people may argue, well, you'll make time for the things that you actually want to do. Yes and no. There are things that I would love to do, but I can't do them because I don't have time. And these are things that I don't have to invest in. These are things that I actually enjoy doing, but I do not have the time. So when someone says that they don't have time, they might truly not have time for it.
You redirect to the magic question. And if they've already answered it, you use their language. Objection. Yep, I totally hear that. You know, the timing isn't always right for everybody, but when it is, it can be an amazing way to, and you use their answers, meet new people, whatever their answers were, you parrot those back and it reminds them of why they want to join. Like some part of them wants to, right? And you remind them of those exact words that they used, okay? Let's talk about this hard truth. You don't always get the results you deserve on the day you earned them. Sometimes you do the work on a Monday and it pays off on a Thursday. Sometimes you do the work in January and it pays off in August. Sometimes you do the work and then the results come later. So trust this process, follow this process, and the worst outcome, the worst possible outcome is you've planted the seed in their mind about maybe joining you. You've expressed how amazing the business is. You've paid them a compliment. You've given them what they need to sign up if they are ready to do it. And you've shown them that you're listening to them and you care. You care about their reasons of why they would want to do it. They're just not just a number to you. You actually care about why they would. That's the worst case scenario. You paid a compliment and showed someone that you care about them. That's pretty dang good, right? Okay, let's see if I missed anything else. Going live when you are feeling into it can be an amazing way to bring people in. The marketing piece of this is a whole other, the attraction marketing piece is a whole other topic. We're not going to go there. The one thing I want you all to know, and then I'm going to scroll for some questions. The one thing I want you to know is sometimes consistency can feel like failure. Sometimes consistency feels like failure. You plant the seed and nothing happened, but you did it perfectly. You executed it perfectly and no one signed up today. But that's okay. Because if you're not planting those seeds, if you're not having the conversations, if you're not asking the questions, not only won't that person ever sign up with you, that's a guarantee. But, oof, this one's gonna hurt. Truth's gonna hurt. Someone else's might ask them. Float some hearts if this has happened to you. You slacked on asking someone and someone else swooped in and got to them first. Ooh, ooh, mama, that one hurts. I've had it happen. And I go back and I'm like, but wait, I was talking to that person. And I look, and if I'm honest with myself, I didn't ask them. And someone else did. They earned that affiliate 9 times out of 10 or more. Okay. It's the art of listening. It's the art of asking that question and not just hearing the answer, but really.
Can you imagine how petty and catty that can get, that people swoop in on your clients or your potential recruits? I've talked about this so many times, but as I've said before, when I was in Beachbody, there were 3 of us pitching the same person all at the same time. And if I'm being honest, if I had 2 people contacting me about this business opportunity, I would be annoyed, because can you guys communicate to each other and let each other know that you're working on this person? I wouldn't join. I'd be freaking annoyed. Or if I were to join, if I were to say something about wanting to, I would tell the second person, well, I was talking to someone else already, so if I'm going to sign up, I'm going to sign up under them. So, does that make sense?
Really listening to it and selling to them recruiting them in their own language, recruiting them for the real reason.
Not selling to them, recruiting them. Did I just hear that right? Or did I take that out of context? I might have taken that out of context, but if I didn't take it out of context, recruitment over selling.
Behind their motivation, not what you assume they are. You might assume that most people are in it for the money because maybe that's your main motivation for joining, but that's not true for me. You might assume that people are in it for the camaraderie of, meeting new people online, but that's not why some people are in this. So don't make any, if you can help it, don't make any assumptions. Someone saying their main objection is they want to try the lashes first. You know what? Some people do. I did. I tried the lashes first. Let me tell you, if the worst thing that happens is you sell some lashes to somebody who's going to be an amazing affiliate, sell the dang lashes. You can still say to them okay, no, absolutely, I get wanting to try the lashes. You can buy them just regular, or here's an idea. If you wanted to, lashes come in the kit. You could even just do a random post that either looks like a referral post for me, even though you'd be an affiliate, or you can just post that you're excited to try them. And if 1 or 2 of your friends want to try them with you, boom, you're already earning commissions. You're going to earn commissions on your own purchases, and anyone else who wants to try them as you're waiting for your order can come in. So it's your choice which way you want to go. If you want to.
Okay, so real quick, it's probably going to sound, the highway noises are going to be more dominant because it's now raining outside, so it's going to be more dominant. But what the what in the actual is, what if someone wants to buy the lashes first before becoming part of my team? That's the objection that I get. Well, maybe because if in the MLM company you guys were focused on pitching the products and selling the products and not selling this dream of being able to work from home and have financial freedom and have extra spending money and blah, blah, blah. What is this backwards thinking? What she is describing is a pyramid scheme, because all she's about is recruiting, and then someone goes and tells her that the objection they get is they want to try the lashes first. Oh, well, it's okay. You can just make them a customer. All right, everyone, my camera cut out. I have no idea where it cut out, but I have been rambling on and I'm just getting more and more angry. So I'm not even going to react to the rest of this Huns video or this MLM reps video because I think we get the point. The focus is on recruitment. It's not on the product. I would love to hear your guys' thoughts. Again, I'm so sorry that I was so fired up for this particular video, but it really, honestly, it pissed me off. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. Thank you so much for watching, and this is Monica reporting to you live from a highway. Bye!